Okay, hey, good afternoon, my friends in the Rotonda West, Englewood, Venice area, South Gulf Cove. Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. I'm in Michigan at the moment, Frankenmuth. Have a home in Rotunda West. Meteorologist, in case you don't know me, meteorologist of 35 years. So let's get right on to it. This right here, again, telling you that the National Hurricane Center, always the best forecast to go by. Do what the authorities say. And this is my commentary for our area, Rotunda West area directly, and what I'm seeing latest. And I can tell you that we have the newest GFS model. That's the US model. We'll call that one the fourth best model. The four good ones: European, best at this time period out. I'm going to show that to you. Then two specific hurricane models, then the GFS. The GFS came in and it's a little bit not favorable for us. Not terribly not favorable, but a touch. And I will show that to you. So let's get on into it. Okay, so there it is. It's now a Category 5 hurricane. Rapidly intensified, 155 mile an hour sustained winds. All right, so we're going to start with the advisory from the Hurricane Center. And I always encourage you that my friends that are meteorologists at TV stations do a great job. So leave it on Wink. Leave it on Wink, leave one station on the Weather Channel, and you'll get very good updates. So, I'm not going to do a whole lot of what they exactly say, but, my commentary of what I think you think should know. So, Milton continuing to rapidly intensify now, Category 5. You know that. I told you. Let's see, maximum sustained winds 155 miles an hour. Let's go to more on theirs. I like this. This is something you do not typically see on TV. It's a little bit in depth. So what we're looking at is the forecast at various times. Okay. And what I want you to see is we're targeting, it looks like Wednesday evening, Wednesday overnight, sometime in there. So we're targeting right here. So they take it from 8 a.m. on Wednesday, maximum winds of 125 knots, gust to 150. And then by 8 p.m. on Wednesday, they weaken it some. So this storm will likely be in a weakening phase as it hits the shoreline. Still very strong, but in a weakening stage, not in a growing monster stage. 110 knots, 135 knots. Here's what I like here. So they give us the size of the hurricane wind field, and it's fairly small. 64 knots, it's hurricane wind. Southeast of the position, about 40 miles. So basically, we're going to have hurricane winds out to sustained hurricane winds out to about 40 miles from the eye. So that's what we really got to focus on, is where that eye will come on shore. Now, let's look at their official forecast to see if they've changed anything. And this is the 10 a.m. advisory. And remember, they had the official track hitting Sarasota. So they have actually inched it northward to the mouth of Tampa Bay with their 10 a.m. They see something. They see something. They're leaning toward the European, and I'll show you why. That would be very significant, very, very significant for Rotunda West, because, like I said, the strong wind will taper off rapidly in a gradient somewhere around our region. The farther north that eye can go, the more it tapers off in ours, we may wind up with 60, 70 mile an hour gusts, a couple of them in a spaced apart in an hour or two in the middle of the night, Wednesday night, if the eye can continue to track inch northward. If it inches southward, we go the other way and we start looking at over 100 mile an hour gusts. But right now, the trend, the thought is inching northward. I want to read this discussion real quick here. Bear with me. I was going to try to look at it beforehand. Let's see. Milton's remarkable rapid intensification is continuing. New forecast. New forecast near Mexico is about the same as the previous one, but is close enough to bring hurricane force winds to the northern portion of Yucatan Peninsula. Later, a mid-level trough dropping in the northwest Gulf of Mexico should cause Milton to move north-northeastward to northeastward at a faster forward speed. The latest model fields are a bit left of the previous runs. So that means they are a bit north, is what that would translate into English. And the official NHC track is shifted to the north. That is very, very important. This forecast is close to a consensus of the latest GFS, European, and regional hurricane models. So we're going to look at the new GFS. We don't have the new European yet. We'll get that 1 to 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we don't have the two regional models that I like to look at. Note that this track is closer to the model fields rather than the model trackers, which appear to be too far south. That's an interesting statement. I have to look into that one. Let's see. It's becoming a Category 5 in light wind shear and very warm waters. By tomorrow, its intensity should be dictated by an eye wall replacement cycle, which will likely cause the system to gradually weaken but grow larger. After 36 hours, Milton is expected to encounter a much less favorable environment with strong shear and dry air entrainment. Dry air can be very important in weakening. And again, we're not talking about it's a Category 5 and then all of a sudden it turns sunny and nothing happened. We're talking take it from a 5 to a 4 to a 3. Okay? However, the system is still, therefore some weakening is anticipated before the system reaches the Florida Gulf Coast. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so now we have the new GFS. Okay, remember I told you that this is probably the 4th best model. Let me think about this, at 60 hours out, 66 hours out, the average error on this model is about 109 miles. So here's the eye, it forecasts. The average error over the last 5 years would be about 55 miles either side of that. So there's still a shift. Could go north. That would be much better news for us. Still a shift that it could go south 55 miles. That would be increased devastation in our area. So now we're looking at a comparison. We're looking at the old GFS model. Okay, this is 8 p.m. Wednesday. So what time are we talking that it gets nasty? This is a quick one in hurricane time period because it's a fast mover. So this is I feel like it's a 9-hour window. And even less than that once we pinpoint it. So this right here is 5 o'clock Wednesday. This is 8 o'clock Wednesday. This is 11 o'clock Wednesday night. Okay, see where the eye is? North. This is the GFS. They're starting to inch the track northward because they're starting to see that the GFS, the European, and 2 other good models agree on that. Now we go down to the new model. So what I want to do is old model, let's see, at 8 o'clock, new model. bear with me here. I need to hit refresh. Give me a second. My internet went bad on me there for a second. Okay, so new model. What I don't like about the new model is the wind field is a little bit bigger. That right there is 8 p.m. That would be south gusts in Rotonda at 60 to potentially 80 miles an hour. This would be 11 at night and 2 in the morning. So it's already come down at that point. Okay, so there you see the shift. This is 8 on the old run. This is the new run. Old run, new run. Now we'll go to an hour, 3 hours later. Old run, new run. It's a little bit further south, maybe a little bit slower. Okay. Okay, now here is the coveted European. Let me just hit refresh to make sure we're not getting the newest run in. We're not yet. Okay, so this is the European. Its error, average error at this point in time would be 84 miles. Okay, it is farther north, smaller wind field, and on the European, the Rotonda West area would have a 60 to 70 mile an hour gust. It is slower. That's 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And this is 5 a.m. Thursday. So the European is toward Thursday morning, which, by the way, high tide is at 5 a.m. on Lemon Bay and then off to the east. But the European is much better for Rotonda West. These are the specific hurricane model runs. We don't have the newest in. I'll just show you. These have been good. These have the best placement. They would be at that far out, they would have an average error of about 80 miles, I think. Again, not the newest, but they bring it right at Tampa. And that is why they've shifted the track north some. That's all I have right now. Recap, okay? Time period, still uncertain on an exact window. Usually I can get it down to a 3 to 6 hour window. I'm going to say no earlier than 8 p.m. on Wednesday is when the strongest hurricane gusts hit Rotonda West, Englewood, Venice. No later than 3 a.m. Thursday. Lasting a couple of hours, burst on squall lines. Rotonda West could be just 2 or 3 squall lines, 1 to 2 inches of rain in a short time period. Total 4 inches of rain in maybe an hour or two total of rainfall. So it'll be a lot different. Southwest to west wind, that's a surge maker. The surge is going to be the main thing on this one. They have us in a 5 to 10 foot surge. I'm not a surge expert. Do what they tell you on evacuation. But what we do like is that the best forecast is still NHC, and they've shifted the track northward. So I will keep you updated. Bye.